Video of your first golf lesson on March 31st, 2016. I'll let the swing play through, and here's your swing to begin with. Now, you now know that there's some extra moving parts, but in reality, this isn't a bad swing. See how it's on plane? These yellow lines represent your plane lines, swing plane. And see how your club comes right down that yellow line? That's actually pretty good. The thing is, you got this extra motion that's causing you to be inconsistent. But when we quiet the body down, then we can take advantage of this really good swing plane. And you get release through the ball pretty good. So the swing is actually quite good. There's just too many moving parts. And watch this guy. See how he basically locks in everything, just turns his back to the target, then belts the target. See, he just turns his back. There's no flopping of the wrist. See how his hands just go straight back and straight back, and then straight towards the ball. Pretty simple. And like I said during the lesson, that we oftentimes make the swing more complicated. So bear in mind, there are a lot of good things with this swing. It's hard to believe you've never played or never even hit the ball. It's better than expected. So now, having said that, we spent the bulk of the lesson was on the setup, the grip, and things like that, and that's critical. And it turns out that what we did was added some flex in your legs, put the V's of your hands in between your right ear and your right shoulder, put the grip more in your fingers, and tried to get away from kind of flopping it back. So basically we cemented the Y of your two arms and club, and we basically turn the shoulders. Now the shoulders turn around your spine angle, and we'll take this red line as the spine angle. So this is pretty good tilt over the ball. This is Adam Scott. He's taller than you, and so I think it. Where's my cursor there? He will. Okay, so he's a little over it, but see, he's got that flex, But your arms are hanging nicely. New grip will be good. Now, watch the movement of your head, which, this hairline is your ear. So this is where we start getting a lot of extra motion. See, we should just turn around that red line, which is our spine. See, that ear comes back and back like 4 inches and up 2, and the club gets to this position. So this nice spine angle, which was the red line, is now up and down. Now, because you address the ball with the spine angle along this red line, you have to find the ground. Very difficult. Very difficult, because you got to get the body, center of the body back to this red line. Okay, so let's see how you do it. You come flying through. Here's the best part of your swing, all on plane. You really so now your head's got to this point. Now it's coming flying back to where it started. It's getting there. Overshoot. We're under the hairlines of where you started. So it moved from it moved from this little red line to its current position. Nearly impossible to hit the ball. So the swing, the inner working of the swing isn't bad. It's the additional movement and all. And see, you got your spine back to where it was originally in the red, but there's too much movement and too difficult to do. And you come through. So, when it's time to work on the swing, I would work on keeping the head stationary. This is really, the next lesson that, for extra credit, you can see he keeps his head, he keeps that ear just about in the same. Now, he dives down a little, but he comes out of it right there. He can get by with it, trust me, but he doesn't have, he keeps the spine angle. See that spine angle? Keeps it, and even as he comes through and hits, he almost increases it. You got your spine angle vertical, almost vertical, and it's starting the red. So, keep the spine, rotate the shoulders around that, and keep the ear steady. Now, long term, what we'll do is we will, hopefully there's a long term, but, we'll get to this point and see how your hands are really close to your body, you're really close to your head. There's really no width. The width is basically, from your, it could be from your sternum to your hands, and that's a very short distance. Look at this guy. I mean, his hands are as far from his head as his body will allow. I mean, his build. Now, let's look at this other angle. Because just in general, your next step is to remove the unneeded moving parts. Okay. So let's just get to this point. See how your hands are really close to your head? Really close. And what we want them to look like. Well, let me play it through. So it's close. From this angle, you can see there's a lot of movement. The good guys basically. Here's that grip before we changed it. Oof. There's a lot of movement here, Jan. Fiddle. Lost in space here. There. So see how you're just kind of independently picking your club up. Your shoulders haven't really rotated much. You're just kind of picking your hands up. Now your shoulders are rotated, but you just pick up the hands, and get to a spot like this. Now, the good thing here is it shows you great flexibility. You're not shoulders behind the ball, which is excellent. This leg is kicked in like it should. You can keep it a foot on the ground because you got the good flexibility, but I like this little slant here. And when you come down, just like Coach Fowler, there's no lower body. And see, then you kind of dive into it. It started, top of your head started here. It's now here. So that's why you're going to be inconsistent. But it's sort of like you were swinging in a barrel, and your head's suspended, and you rotate around your spine. See, you got a lot of lateral and vertical movements as opposed to rotational. Let's look at what it looks like. Okay, now watch how he rotates around. See his head, it'll come back a little and rotate up, but doesn't have the 6-inch movement that some of our swings have. Okay, so And watch his shoulders. Shoulder does the movement. Rotates around his spine, but see that left shoulder? It's moved quite a bit. And the club's, just in the takeaway. His shoulder's almost 90 degrees. See that? So the shoulders are driving that. It's rotating around the spine. The head is suspended. And look at the width from there to there. And, you and I and the rest of the world can't get there, but we can get here. Stiff left arm. That's all you need. But there's a tendency with you collapse both arms, and so your hands end up about in here, next to your head. And then as he comes down, this is extra credit. We're not there yet, but the downswing, he pushes off the lower body, which, you had a very good question when I was working with Greg, is what does the lower body do? It looks like I'm shifting it. Well, yeah, and this is just for future reference, but you shift, and the left hip gets out of the way to a straight left leg, and this is the magical position, and we end up like that. So I'll do a quick run through so you can watch this and stop it anywhere you want. But this is the best swing in golf. And then we'll quickly get this face on for you, down the line for you, and we'll let this run. So see how there's not much body movement. He retains that angle, kind of suspends his head, cements in the Y,